Man is basically good, and he has the innate qualities of leading a happy and successful life. This Criminon program is based on the works of L. Ron Hubbard, who is a famous educator and humanist. This is the finding which he came out with. Actually, it's human nature also. It is perhaps a bit contrary to what some of our people at least say. That this so-and-so is a criminal, he will always remain a criminal. I don't think that is true, because everyone can change, and we have that even in our own Islamic history.
Okay.
What I'm trying to do now is first of all to at least reach all the 4 jails of Karachi. We are already in Karachi Central Jail. We have trained a lot of people coming from the interior of Sindh, and they have really appreciated this program. And they have requested that this should be taken to all the jails of Sindh. So we have already started translating of the books. If we get the fund, we will go there. Another plan is something to do with education.
Being here and living in Pakistan and seeing the condition of education, all of us know and feel that this is one of the main areas where some change is required in order for us to progress. This is our course room. They have to pass a small checkout at the end of each passage which they are studying. The environment in a course room is people are fully engrossed in their studies. Eating and drinking is not allowed, no talking. They get a break. This place has been set up to contribute towards bettering the education standards of our society and of our country. And we are doing it through a method called study technology. And that is basically 100% comprehension for 100% of the people. It's a tall claim, but it's very doable because the method is very tough and exact. There's at least one supervisor there all the time. They are trained to spot people, because if you go to a library, especially to a college or a medical college library, as we have seen ourselves, you see a lot of people feeling drowsy and not looking very bright. So there is a definite reason for that, and that is that they haven't understood something or the other. So here the supervisor is trained to handle him if he's not looking optimum. So these various drills, there are 8 or 9 of them. So these make people much more effective in their interpersonal relationship. We are licensed by an organization called Applied Scholastics, which is based in the USA. This whole system of study technology is based on the research done by the famous American educationist L. Ron Hubbard. And there's a whole method of education and study which is there and which we are trying to introduce here in the country. I'm reading something on the evolution of the Indian Army, the British Indian Army. That's very interesting. Actually, my main interest is or has been history, and to some extent military history. This passion for military history was there even before I joined the army. And then I also like travel and science fiction, many other books. Study involves mostly reading, but there are other ways also in which one can study. Going to an art gallery, that's a study. Going to a museum, observing things. But what we teach is that whatever one learns or one wants to study, one should understand that. Without that, study is meaningless. One can say that my grandfather was a man of letters. He had a huge library of books. Family belongs to 4 former princely states of India: Bhopal, Tonk, Surat and Janjira. It's a very different atmosphere which one hears from them as compared to what was known as British India. This obviously interested me in history as well. So this is one of the key books in study technology. It's called the Basic Study Manual. It takes us step by step through various barriers one has in learning. I came across it many years ago, more than 20 years ago, and I did it in a small group here. It was a very simple and basic course. It had a lot of cartoon characters in it. And when I was shown that course, I objected because I have been an avid reader throughout my life. The Case of Baloch Nationalism. This is actually one would call an extremist type of book. I strongly feel that all of us must learn the history of our country. I've read more than a book a day at times. So I thought it was a very demeaning thing for me to do this cartoon course. My mother's family claims that they were the first family to speak English in the entire subcontinent because they were from Surat, where the British first came. But the gentleman who was asking me to do it, he convinced me finally, and I started it. On the third day, I suddenly realized that I had total clarity on what I was reading.